here. Well, I'm not gonna go on that lawn, number one, not to mess with those guys. But check out this container right here. Got the gar up top. It's probably whirling butterfly. Then you got the cascading lantana. Isn't that beautiful? Then you got some snapdragons right here, which probably smell heavenly. And then it looks like some short sunflower right here. All right. And over here, look at this. Gorgeous. Gorgeous container ideas. All right. Look at this entire mass of Millennium alliums. This is the effect you want when you plant alliums. You don't want just onesie twosies, you want an entire mass. And then in the early spring, you can probably just come through with your lawnmower at the highest setting and just mow everything down. It still has plenty of insect activity. For reference, here's the size of that seed head. Gorgeous. This right here is a gorgeous design idea right here. This looks to be about a good 5.5 to 6 foot deep bed, and it's a hedge of these panicle hydrangeas, and at the bottom level you got all of these Millennium alliums. Simple but yet very effective, and these flowers last for the entire season. Well, the panicles, they're mid to late summer and the rest of the season. But I mean, who cares? I mean, the structure alone is satisfying. This is probably about 15 feet deep. I mean, 15 feet long. Beautiful. Look at all this insect activity still going strong. Look at this part here, right here, of the boxwood. And on the inside, you got those gorgeous caladiums. There's a design tip. And in this quadrant, you got begonias. Yeah. And in the center, you got the canna lilies. Very nice. And over here, you got this beautiful arbor hedge. This provides an instant screen from peering eyes. Look at this part here. Over there you got begonias, if I could pronounce it right. And over here you got all these lavenders. I'm not sure what variety they are. It smells amazing. And clearly these begonias are doing a little better because I think they get a little more sun. All right, so I'm gonna pan across the way here to this quadrant, which is jam-packed with these gorgeous zinnias. Look at this. But they've all got powdery mildew this time of year. There's really nothing you can do about it. I mean, you could spray, But since they're annuals and they only last for so long, I don't think anybody wants to spend lots of money spraying zinnias. Look at this one right here. It's got kind of like a sunset tone, sunset apricot tone to its color. But of course, they're kind of fading. Here's one. It's kind of fresh. That is gorgeous. I'm gonna look for this one for next year. And over here, these salvia right here, these salvia are being overshadowed by the gorgeous zinnias. There's some celosia right there. See if I can zoom in on that. Gorgeous. Look at that color contrast between those zinnias and the celosia. And then the dark purple leaves of the, I'll put the name up on the screen, Cana lily. Sometimes when you're doing tours, man, you gotta have your names lined up because you will be stumped. All right, so I'll just be quiet the rest of this tour and we'll just take this in, all right? Nothing beats a woodland garden. Now, what's your name? You're friendly. You're probably used to people feeding you. Hey. Hey, fat girl. Hey. Look at that. She's getting busy. Finding those critters, huh? Hey, you're not phased one bit, are you? I wish my chickens were as brave as you. Oh, so that's where they are. Over there. Ah. There goes some hot lips, turtle head. I tried growing those at home. Wrong plant, wrong place. So they're clear. Well, up here in this zone, I guess this is probably zone 6. So this area, I'm sure, you know, it's just a lot more conducive to growing those. And this is a shadier area, and it probably gets enough moisture. They're all gorgeous. Look at the berries on this viburnum. All right, guys, I was supposed to be quiet for this part of the video, but I couldn't help it. There goes Papa, a rooster. Close your eyes, kitties. Such a peaceful little spot. There's another climbing hydrangea that's not climbing. All right, guys. Time for the next chapter of the evening. I mean, this was magical. It was beautiful. I mean, you see the chickens? Beautiful, right? So I will make an effort to stop here tomorrow after the signature event. And then I got a treat for you guys after that. See you then. All right, guys, so it's day 2 and I'm back at the Taylor Conservatory Botanical Gardens. So I kind of like coming at this time of day because it's around 6:30 and the sun is starting to set, and so I get some really good lighting. All right, guys, let me turn this camera around. So back here is a petting farm. It might be closing up right about this time, but as I showed you guys probably in the previous video or an earlier part of this video, you saw the chickens and stuff like that coming out through the garden. Yeah, so it closes, well, the last admission is 4:30. But like you guys saw earlier, you still see some of the animals, like little chickens coming out. All right, so we're just gonna walk our way around to the back and I'll finish showing you guys some of these beautiful gardens. This gold mound spirea is so versatile. It can take full sun to part shade, and it's great for the middle towards the front of the border. This one right here still has some fresh blooms. But as you can tell, they age to that more of a rust color. It's nice that this Weigela still has some blooms on it. These get pretty big as well, probably 5 by 5. And how can you not acknowledge the big, beautiful blooms of Annabelle? Hydrangea arborescens. Great planting combination. The thing is, Annabelle arborescens can probably take full sun up here in the Michigan area, but down in Zone 7B, Maryland, these need to be in shade. They need to be in shade to part shade. And they've pretty much repeated the same planting grouping throughout this entire border here, with the exception of some pink carpet roses right there. So yesterday I already filmed on this side. So we're gonna go across the patio right there onto the other side. All right, so these quadrants aren't exactly similar to the other side. Over here, it looks like they had coreopsis, which are getting pretty sparse around this time of year. The thing with coreopsis is they bloom really nice in the spring, early summer, but towards the end of summer, they start to really peter out. So folks just tend to cut them all back. And then as you can tell, they're putting out some like a third flush. Over here, they've got some pelargoniums. These don't look too hot either this time of the season. All right, so behind me, you can see this Rebecca Goldstrom doing just spectacular. I tell you, this particular plant, if you can get it in the right place with the right type of soil, it'll thrive. These blooms will continue to look fresh for a very long time if this plant is placed in the right spot. Yeah, can't beat that. And on the other side, you've got some begonias right here. They're just glowing right now. And some lavender, which is still going pretty strong. And back there in that little quadrant, you've got some salvia. Kind of a dusty mauve pink. So I'm curious to see what they got back here. I see the pattern of the patio, the pavers have changed. Oh, look at this. This is a neat little hideaway here. This is obviously a little patio. I mean, this can be a really nice idea for a small patio. Like if you don't have, you know, an in-bed garden, just get some small planters, small pots. Okay, keep it simple. You got the canna lilies right there with the begonias. And look at this, they've already started to put some fall interest out here. Some kale. And this is an old spent tomato plant right here. Woo! It's seen better days. Looks to be a cherry tomato. Look at that. And see what else we can catch. Those zinnias are pretty spent, huh? Look at that powdery mildew on these things. My God. Woo! Pretty soon they'll be cutting those all the way back or just simply taking them all out. It's a nice little picture area here. You got the 3 planters right here with some beautiful grasses, some dichondria falls, silver falls, verbena. You got some dahlias right here. Look at that. And the contrast between the red of that dahlia flower and this dusty miller right here. Really neat. And they've added some vertical interest with the spray painted branches. Really nice. It's giving me some fall vibes. Francesca's Heart, inspired by true love. Donated by friends of the Vital family. August 2015. Very nice. Really nice. They kind of did a repeat over here with these three planters. Nice little tribute garden. All right, so I'm gonna swing this camera around and check out some of the garden beds back there. Had to pass by these Millennium alliums with all the bees busy working until dusk. So behind that pavilion, check out some of the trees. Looks like you got a birch in the foreground. That tall tree right there is clearly an oak tree, I can tell by the leaves. And then behind this birch, it looks like a tulip poplar tree. Or a tulip tree. You got a gorgeous white pine right here. A grouping of them. So a compilation of these trees and its understory. It produces a woodland garden effect, which is so peaceful. And eventually that's what I'd like to get my garden to be, or to represent. Very peaceful and colorful woodland garden. Clearly this gets a significant amount of sun because it has some zinnias right here. As we all know, zinnias, and there's a dahlia right here, needs a significant amount of sun in order to produce sufficient blooms. So let's swing around the back here. These marigolds are pretty tall. But they're standing pretty upright. Not sure what the variety is. Really nice. There's a few more dahlias that aren't blooming too heavily because, you know, they're tucked away. They probably don't get that much sun. Got some roses back here. I'm sure they maintain this garden, but you can tell a lot of these plants are kind of struggling because they're not getting as much sun as they need. All right, looks like that bed is Not doing too hot. All right, so let me see what's over there. What do we got over there? I'm gonna take a quick walk over there to see what's there and film if necessary. But guys, just look at the size of this tree trunk. Look at that. This tree has got to be at least 200 years old. I mean, this trunk is massive. Well, this is neat. So this right here looks to be a pollinator garden. Everything is very leggy, so it probably gets great midday sun, but clearly it doesn't get that hot afternoon sun. All right, so we're gonna go through this pollinator garden and check out some of the specimens. Okay. So you've got some coneflower, which I'm sure the finches are devouring this time of year. Yep. Okay. Got some goldenrod, which is just starting to come into flower right now. Okay. Little pit stop for the bugs and the birds to get a sip to drink. Okay. So I just checked my plant app and it's calling this stiff-leafed goldenrod. They seem to look really healthy. So we're gonna leave this area because the amount of clarity that I get from this iPhone, it really starts to diminish with the absence of light. So I don't want to subject you guys to too grainy and too dark footage. But this is neat. The whole idea of having a pollinator garden here is really neat, and it's really good for the kids to come out and see all the insects and the different plant hosts that that harbor these insects. All right, so we're approaching the pavilion garden. That's what I'm gonna call it. Look at that fat hen over there. Look at that fat girl. Just oblivious. They're so used to people. All right, so I'll go ahead and try and get the back end of this area. It's a good thing these chickens don't have any natural predators out here. Oh, besides us humans. So back here we've got the panicle hydrangea, this beautiful tiered formed dogwood, followed by more hydrangeas. Okay. Sorry for the haze of the sunset, guys. Then right here you've got about 4 or 5 arbs creating a nice hedge. So here's the backside of the petting zoo. I mean, it is gorgeous back here. See if I can zoom in. You got that peaceful pond right there with the small waterfall on the right. And you got that deck right there. That's right over the water. Really peaceful. Great place to gather. Too bad I can't get any closer. I see some, of course, I see some chickens. I see some ponies in the distance. There go some ducks right over there. All right, guys, we're gonna finish up this tour. So yesterday I showed you guys in that nice little garden pocket right there. Nice little idea for a woodland garden. Nice little hideaway. Really nice. All right, guys, so I guess that's the end of this tour. And sadly, that's the end of this trip here in the Detroit area. I wish I had a little more time because there are so many different gardens in this region. The climate is very mild in the summertime, and you're able to host a whole lot of species of plants and flowers because of that. I mean, it does get hot, but it doesn't get too intense for too long of a period. So you're able to host a lot of planting combinations together that were very unusual for me coming from Zone 7B out on the East Coast. All right, guys, so with that, I thank you for hanging with me on this trip or just for this video, and I'll see you on the next one.